And we're live. What's good, guys? Welcome to the Monday stream. We'll be looking at some coins today, starting with Bitcoin. Oh, well, to start with the corn. So can I get an audio check, video check? I think we're rolling properly. So I did a stream yesterday. Wanted to look at some things that I've been developing. This Bitcoin on the 12-hour chart right now, and I picked this time frame due to a recognizable pattern that might be completing here. It will be an Adam and Eve bottoming pattern. So you have the Adam, which is the sharp drop, and then the V recovery, and then around the bottom, which is the Eve. You need to break around 64.4K in order to complete the pattern. And we're actually working on the Eve kind of side of the trade, which would be this attempt to round bottom here. Being specifically honest, this can fall again and not invalidate the pattern, because you can have something like this. If we roll over here, then you can basically put on another higher low and then maybe round up and complete the pattern. So you could have something like that, and the pattern might still be valid. So don't get chopped looking for this in order to develop, but it would be pretty sweet if it plays out. We've been looking for bullish patterns and bullish signals, and we just haven't been getting much because the trend is bearish on the daily time frame, on the 12-hour time frame, basically, where you have a higher high from March 14, then a lower low, then a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we're basically sitting here trying to market structure break this downtrend that we've been in for almost two full months now. So that's some hopium for you guys. We talked about this in yesterday's stream. Before this pump, we were starting to slowly grind up here after this Friday dump, and today in the morning we had this humongous pump. Every 2% move now feels huge. So we had this big pump, 2% pump into the Wall Street session, and we have just been kind of sitting there for the past few hours. We still have an hour and a half to go for the daily close. So that's the daily. So as I was just saying, this doesn't need to be the rounded bottom itself, even though it looks good. Hey, what's good, Maxi? Massey. I didn't read Kobe's tweet. I saw something about him tweeting, but I looked for it and didn't find it. I'm guessing it was bearish, right? Calling for the end of the bull market, because everyone was I don't know, waffling about him tweeting yesterday and today pumping. But if you can give me some reference on what he said. Same way out the Goldilocks zone. No, I didn't read it. Kobe, don't get me wrong, Kobe's a master, and he's usually right about the market. But yeah, I'll take a moment to read it later on, and we'll give you my thoughts on tomorrow's stream. But if you don't need to be a master technician in order to know that the trend is actually bearish since mid-March. Every run-up has turned into probably a lower low or just a retracement. But something kind of interesting might be cooking today in the Bollinger Band area, because we've been rejecting the mid-range EMA nonstop, which is currently sitting at $62,300 or so. and there's a chance we might be breaking it today if we catch fall through the next 2 days. I also think the 3-day closes today. I'm not sure. No, it closes tomorrow. But if we get a closure here on the 3-day above the last candle, which closed on May 9, we will be working on a bullish engulfing candle. So that's more hoping too. But yeah, the thing to know right now for the corn is that it's currently bearish on the low time frame, meaning the 12-hour, the 4-hour, and the daily chart. But if you look the weekly is perfectly bullish. Bad thing about it is that we could drop all the way down almost to 48K, 45K, print a bottom there, and the trend would still be bullish on the weekly. So we could have significant downfall or downtrend from here before reversing on the weekly time frame. But I'm guessing that's why everyone remains bullish. Not just everyone, but most of CT and people around crypto nowadays. I think they're still bullish, even though the pain that we had for the past 2 months. It's because the major or the higher time frame charts, such as the weekly and the monthly, are still bullish. So yeah. Also, what we've been discussing has been the P cycle top indicator, orange EMA, has been regarded as a bottom, which is this one right here, is sitting at 59K now. So it's about to go about 60K. So I'm guessing that if we actually bottom here, in hindsight, maybe this EMA is going to go right next to where we are right now. So it will be somewhat of a double test of these orange EMA before heading higher and testing the green EMA, which is right now at 82K. So significant price action for us if we manage to hold these two lows. Also, some people have been debating if this could turn into an inverse head and shoulders. This one will being the right shoulder, that one the head, and this one the right shoulder. Yeah, that one was the left shoulder. I don't think I saw it properly. But yeah, something like this. So I'm guessing having a deviation there, or maybe you would have to put it like from there. I think it's more clear on the USDT dominance chart. You have the same, almost the same pattern and more clear head and shoulders on that regard, because it's inverted. It's basically the opposite. It's the mirror opposite of whatever the total crypto market cap does. It's usually what USDT dominance do. So a good price action today. We could have just had like a really bad day today, reversing whatever we did on the weekend, because we've been discussing that we need to see trending price action on the Wall Street trading hours. Otherwise, we could have like pumps on the Asian session. We could have pumps within the weekend, and then the Monday will come and just retrace everything with ETF outflows or with Barry selling this grayscale Bitcoin and just nuking us down. I'm guessing today's flows, ETF flows, are going to be inflows. So that's good. Going back to the 12-hour, this is the line in the sand for the pattern here, for the Adam and Eve pattern. In order to be confirmed, you need a breakout above that level around 64.3K, 64.4 thousand bucks. If you break that, you start confirming this Adam and Eve bottom pattern. And I think the measure move for a breakout here will be quite significant. If you manage to confirm that pattern, you have almost a 73K price target measure move. it doesn't mean necessarily it's gonna play out exactly and head up to 73K, but on the technical side of things, if it plays out, that's your technical target. Also, if this was actually the bottom, we can throw some fib retracement to see. We should at least go test this 0.618 retracement, which is 67,000 bucks around there, which coincides with this lower high here of April 22nd. Yeah, if we manage to put a higher low, then we can start getting excited again and start thinking of a trend reversion to a bullish trend on the daily and the 12-hour. There has been a lot of pain. I'm sure a lot of people left. I'm sure views on YouTube channels have been declining. I'm sure a lot of froth was taken away from the crypto market. So that's what you always want to see before heading higher. Plus, we've been discussing too that where do we think we are regarding past cycles. So we're between these two EMAs of the P cycle top indicator, which is really resembling the 2016-2017 cycle after the halving and right after breaking all-time highs. So you have basically you had all-time high here, around here. So you did a sweep here, a short sweep, went almost up to the green moving average. On this case, we actually exceeded it, but we were not able to break it. So if everything mimics this past the second cycle of Bitcoin, we should be around here putting a bottom here around the orange EMA, and then we should start slowly creeping up all the way into price discovery. And as you can see on this attempt, we actually broke out of the green moving average, the P cycle top indicator, and just started a parabolic move. Then had probably a 40% retrace, pumped again, 30 to 40% retrace, pumped again, and all the way to the block top of 19K or 20K or so. So we could be here. If we are actually here, I don't think we're gonna have like a similar move. Maybe we have two blow tops. I don't think we're gonna pump this much because Bitcoin is much larger. It's a way larger asset class than it was back then. It's gonna take much more money in order for us to pull up this move. But we could get a similar move and just get, I don't know, half of what they got here in 2016, 2017, and or backs with Moon. So this is what I'm expecting. I'm hoping that the orange EMA would actually hold, that 57K was actually the bottom. And if that's correct, then we should just start slowly grinding up. Otherwise, if that doesn't play out, if we start battling and chopping within this orange EMA, then maybe the eco bubble thesis starts to be more in tune to the current market. You can see what happened here in 2019. This is the whole Benjamin Cohen thesis. I don't know if you've seen any of his videos, but he actually thinks that this whole run up was actually just a bear market rally, you know, with high interest rates and just a failed rally, if you could say it, if you could put it that way, maybe a reaccumulation rally before convincingly or strongly breaking all-time highs. So my guess is that this orange EMA is the line in the sand ultimately. Okay? If that's our case and we start coming down to the orange EMA, whoops. I think I lost my chart. Sorry about that. All right. we go. So I was saying, if we just don't manage to just launch out of this orange EMA and go test the green EMA around here, which would be I think around 80K for Bitcoin now, and we just start failing to hold support here, then we're just gonna flush. And this is what everyone's is scared right now. Probably not today because we had a green day, but everyone's been scared that we're gonna head down to 50K, 48K, whatever, just have like a huge nuke, like the whole sale in May and go away thesis. I think we're gonna have a hint or a clue regarding what we do within this orange EMA, because we're currently sitting around here on current price action. But I don't think this is our case, by the way. I think actually we're like, as we pointed out, we're actually in between of a greater bull run, and we're poised to break out of the green EMA and go into extreme acceleration and price appreciation in just a few weeks. I think the orange EMA will hold, and I think we're poised to get this insane rally. Probably not the same, but just a big parabola, probably a couple of blow tops before the major top within the end of the year or probably early next year. And you can see the P cycle top indicator when the two EMAs cross. It's when it usually prints the actual top within a day or two. It actually did it on 2021 on the first top in April. So going back to the current scenario, as you can see, I don't think we are in 2019. 2019 was way below all-time high. It wasn't the same price. We would need to be consolidating between the 18 to 20K range in order to be a similar move to 2019. And 2019 top around 14K, 13K or so. So I don't think it's the same run up. I think we're dealing with a whole different monster here, having the ETF inflows, having flat interest rates, presidential election year, all those catalysts, plus the halving. We didn't have the halving in 2019, and the halving usually takes some time in order to have that supply shock that everyone's waiting for Bitcoin. So the fact that we're just basically consolidating and getting chopped around here above 60K, above the orange EMA, for me is tremendously bullish. So I'm guessing the next time we go test that green EMA here, around here, I think it's not gonna hold. I don't think we're gonna get another dump into the orange EMA. I think we're just gonna go berserk and just gonna blast through and go straight into 90 to 100K. And maybe then we could have that 30% retracement that we haven't had in a while, when we have a lot of volatility and a lot of froth and then a lot of attention on Bitcoin. Because right now, retail attention is not on Bitcoin at all. It's not on crypto. So it's pretty crazy to me to have Bitcoin at 62K and no one caring. That's really convincing for a bullish scenario. So if we hold this orange EMA around here, as we've just been saying, I think we're gonna be all right. Massey, what do you think is going to happen this summer? I think we're gonna see bullish price action. I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin dominance. It's probably gonna top and roll over when Bitcoin goes into price discovery with strength. When we clear out 80K, 90K, whatever, then a lot of capital is just gonna start moving further down the risk curve into altcoins. That's when probably altcoins are gonna start moving. But it just depends. I think or summer, it just depends on this orange EMA, being honest. If we're able to hold it and just launch of it, I think we're gonna have a great summer. I think June and July it's gonna be insane. That's what I think. If we continue to chop around here, pull a higher high, but not able to hold it through, and then just we come down, we break the RNTMA again, maybe back test it twice as resistance, then I think we could have a huge capitulatory event and have a, a really strong wipeout of the market and have like an awful summer from July on, and just we'll have to see some reaccumulation for a long time here, maybe before coming back to these levels around here, something like that. But I'm just bullish. The trend's bullish. The trend is your friend. I'm not gonna get chopped within the daily time frame. I'm not gonna get chopped in the 12-hour time frame. I'm gonna expect this RNTMA to hold, and once we confirm this being a bottom, green EMA is the next target. And I think we may top it and retrace a little bit, but I think this time we're gonna just blast through it with conviction. So that will be in the summer. I don't see us spending too much time within this range, because we've been in here for 2 months. Basically around here, we have 2 deviations now, one to the upside, one to the downside. So this range is not going to go forever. Bitcoin is a momentum driven asset class. So it's either going to keep the bullish momentum or it's going to switch to the downside, and we're going to have that flush. But I'm leaning towards the bullishness. I think the RNTMA will hold, because we've been close to it and we've been getting bits. We haven't been able to break down. We haven't had a single daily candle close below it. Once we start seeing daily closes below the RNTMA, I'm going to be the first one to say that we should be careful and start de-risking some, because I know the significance of this setup. I know that this cycle is probably more like the 2016 to 2017 cycle, where we'll have some strong uptrends and then some retracements, strong uptrends and some retracements, all the way up to the top. Okay, so that's enough of BTC. I want to show you guys the head and shoulders on USDT dominance. For you guys that don't know what this is the dominance of USDT. What percentage of the market cap of USDT represents the total crypto market cap? So you have this head and shoulders looks better here on USDT dominance versus the one on Bitcoin. I think it's more clear. Left shoulder, right, the head, and the right shoulder here. So if we come down to this neckline, I think we're gonna break down, because also we're above a level. We've been talking about this on past streams too. I would like us to be below the 4.88, the 4.87 level on USDT dominance, because every time we've come up here and made a local top, we have had some huge pump on BTC. So for us being above that line, it could be a risk-off signal. But we have that set up on the daily, so I'm hoping for some downtrending here on printing this local top here, And if we come all the way down to this 3.8%, it probably means that Bitcoin is heading to 80K. That's what we've been talking about around USDT dominance. You clearly have the setup here. And if you want to measure move target, oh wow, 30% target around there. So we break down around here, then the target almost put us at the mid-range of this channel. That would be the technical target of that head and shoulders if it actually comes down to the neckline and breaks down. Because the way to trade head and shoulders is that you take the trade once it breaks the neckline and confirms it as resistance, or once you have a daily close below the neckline. But a lot of people, including myself, like to trade them on just the right shoulder. Once you have the right shoulder, it's better positioning, because the invalidation here on the neckline will be the right shoulder, and you're just too far away from your stop loss. So what you do here is the following. Just take your trade there, your entry, and you set the stop loss right above the right shoulder. So that's your invalidation. And you put your take profit around somewhere around the measured move or the target, or maybe some significant level here that could reverse. And then you have a 4.76 risk to reward ratio. But the bad side of taking the trade here on the right shoulder is that it doesn't have the chances or the probabilities of playing out, rather if you did it on the neckline. Because when you do it on the neckline, you have better odds that it's going to confirm a top. And if you do it up here, this could turn just into something else. You just do that and completely invalidate the setup. But I like doing it up here because my invalidation is way closer than if I do it down here. See how the Bollinger Bands are doing here. So yeah, it's quite similar to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually below the mid-range there. This one's above it. So it's just gonna have to do its thing. We'll see if that Adam and Eve pattern starts to play out once we break that neckline we've been discussing. So that's Bitcoin, that's USDT dominance. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Had quite the uptick today. It's 0.86%, 0.81% today. So yeah, this trend, this asset is just trending higher. Seen a lot of people trying to catch tops, but it's just not going to top until we have a clear confirmation of a top, because it's been trending up to the upside for a year and a half by now. So you cannot try to pick tops on trending asset. There was a setup here. Yeah. On the 3-day, we had a bearish divergence setup on the MACD histogram, where we had a lower high. We had a higher high on the price and a lower high on the histogram. As you can see here, this one will be the divergence there. But it hasn't been playing out to the downside. So that could mean that it's still a bullish asset. When you have a bullish trend, usually bearish patterns don't play out that often. And when you have a bearish trend, usually bullish patterns and bullish setup do not play out or tend to underperform. which is actually what Bitcoin Dominance is doing right now. There's a level here that we almost topped when we had that crazy altcoin flush for the war. So that could be the top, the 57% area, but everyone and their mother has been waiting for 60% on Bitcoin Dominance. We've been talking about this, and I like consensus targets. It reminds me of everyone expecting 100K on BTC the last cycle. Oh, Bitcoin's going to be 100K. Bitcoin is definitely going to $100,000, and it didn't. So I'm guessing the 60% target on BTC dominance is gonna get front run or underperformed, and we may top just before 60%. Do you think altcoins can still go lower? Seems like they're not moving as low when Bitcoin drops now. Made a mistake of going all into alts in March, and now I'm down like 60%. Yeah, you're not the only one, Massey. I think a lot of people did that because it was most likely the smart thing to do. You know, Bitcoin was running into price discovery, so the altcoin season was just around the corner. Everyone was positioning in alts and taking risks, you know, because we were basically poised to have an altcoin season, but then we found that resistance at 70K, 73K, and then just Bitcoin dominance just kept grinding higher. I think, sadly, I'm also holding a lot of alts right now, so I think sadly they're gonna keep underperforming until we see that rollover in Bitcoin dominance. I don't think they're gonna get a flush like they did in the Saturday, I think it was. I don't think it's gonna have that painful, but you might see, I don't know, Bitcoin run 5% on a daily candle and see your altcoin do -1%, -2% on the day, or be in red or just underperforming, but not getting flushed. I don't think they're gonna nuke as bad. I think that nuke that we had was the worst, unless we had that whole bearish scenario that we were talking about, losing the RNTMA. But if you stay patient and we have the run up all the way up to 100K, there's gonna be a point on which Bitcoin dominance is gonna roll over, and altcoins are gonna catch a bit really fast. That's what I think. This will be my second cycle. I actually was around in 2017, but I wasn't that interested in TA or anything. I was just learning about crypto, you know, looking at projects. I remember looking into Dash or some RS coins, but I returned and started doing trading and TA since March 2020. So this one will be my second cycle, even though I was around in 2017. But per se, this will be my second cycle. But I saw it in 2021 and 2020. I was heavy on alts too, and I wished I had more BTC when we had the whole run up until like, it wasn't until like I think 28K or so that we saw some alts catch a bit. I think Ethereum exploded from $400 all the way to $800 when Bitcoin was around 25 or 28K or something like that. So way above, almost a 30% price above all-time high for Bitcoin in order for Ethereum to start moving. So I think it's going to be somewhat similar. That's what I think. So that's the dominance. It's a bullish asset, unfortunately, and it's going to keep that way until we have some confirmation of a market structure break. You know, start seeing some lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then we can think of an altcoin season. I don't know about runes though, or ordinals, because runes were so hyped before they launched, and they just basically launched on nuked. Um, I don't know if a single rune token right now it's been doing good. Everything that I've been looking at, it's been basically dumping. So maybe some ordinals, some inscriptions, or more some runes could have some good performance with Bitcoin running. Besides memes and maybe AI coins, because AI coins have been catching a bit too lately. I think because Nvidia is supposed to have earnings this week or so. So you're just gonna have some winners, but your basic layer one token or your BC scam, as they have been addressed this cycle, will probably underperform until we have that rollover when Bitcoin is significantly higher from here. That's what I think with the dominance. What else? We can look at Bitcoin against the SPX. So this is a chart of BTC against the S&P futures, the SPX, or the S&P index, and pretty similar to what Bitcoin's doing. It's just ranging, maybe bullish or maybe bull flagging, creating a bull flag just within an extended period of time, or maybe even a cup and handle, working on the handle. And we're not even close to all-time highs here. So I think when we run, we're gonna breach this 15 to 16 area and just start printing into price discovery. I think when we reach price discovery on this chart on BTC against SPX, that's when it's gonna get frothy, my opinion. We'll take a look at how SPX closed today. This is the 3-day. My bad. So that's the daily and the Bitcoin against the SPX. Just working on a similar Adam and Eve pattern than Bitcoin. We're gonna leave it drawn here, just in case we see it play out. All right. What about the SPX today? Closing the day almost flat, I think. Not too much movement. Red candle, bearish engulfing, the previous one, but just probably some summer drop of volatility and just right about the upper Bollinger Band resistance. So we may see some reaccumulation here before creeping up higher. Who knows? We just don't have too much levels to the left. We just have previous all-time high here. We're on there. Nasdaq, I'm guessing, did somewhat similar. I have a funny chart on the Nasdaq here. It's on log scale because it's quite large. So you can see this is basically price action on the Nasdaq since '85. I think this was the inception of the index. So we're battling with this mid-range support resistance level. Looks bullish. I also use P-cycle bottom indicator EMAs for the Nasdaq because it works fantastic. Every time you're holding the red EMA, just keep pumping. Every time you lose it and you back test it at resistance, you enter a bear market. As you can see here in 2022, 2008, and 2001, where just got really respected as resistance until we started having weekly closes above it. So you can see if you use this, it wasn't obviously the indicator wasn't around, but if you use this indicator in 2001, you should have known that the bear market nuke wasn't over until you had a weekly candle above it. Then you retraced it, back tested the low, and then started hopping above it and having some weekly closes above the red EMA. That's when the recovery started. And then 2008 came, had the same scenario, just dumped below the red EMA, tried to regain and have a weekly candle above it, rejected, and then confirm it as resistance. Then the nuke didn't stop until you broke above the red EMA. So I'm bullish on risk assets and tech stocks and crypto and whatever if we're holding this red EMA, which is currently doing. It's been holding it since we got above it in February 2023. And I'm expecting it to continue to hold. The next, if we manage to break out of this mid-range, the next resistance area will be around the 22,000, 21,000 area for the Nasdaq. So that's what I'm looking at at this index. I'm not trading any stocks right now. I'm just trading crypto. So I don't look at much at daily time frames. I'm just worried about higher time frame price action, for example, the monthly here with this beautiful log scale uptrend. You can see actually this channel, every channel is the same dimension, by the way, it's just the same size. As you can see how this basically Fibonacci levels 0.5 just seem to play out on the Nasdaq here. Beautiful. So we'll keep using it until it stops working. What else? Let's go into some altcoins. Let's look at Sol. So Sol managed to hold the 143 bucks. That's really good. We talked about it yesterday, which is basically this inflection area from 2022, which was confirmed as support here on this October 21 run up, and then confirmed as resistance, had a nuke, confirmed as resistance, nuked, resistance, nuked, resistance, had a drawdown, and now we're just sitting above it, printing a bullish engulfing candle, actually printing this highest daily candle since May 9, and still within this range, this downsloping range above the mid-range too. So that's good because these two small double top wasn't looking as good as we said yesterday. It looked like it wanted to come down to the bottom of the channel, all the way down to 125, but it catched a bit today, and it was working on this bullish engulfing candle, going above the 143 significant level. So I like what Sol's doing here. All right, we're gonna talk about the big elephant in the room. I was waiting for this asset. We're gonna go look at Pepe, which pumped crazily today, went into all-time highs and price discovery. We've been talking about this asset as well. This is the inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, which has a measure move target of 1,526, whatever that unit measure is. So this is the target we drew, I think a couple of weeks ago now. So it looks good. Had definitely a lot of selling around here. All of this got absorbed, basically a lot of asks, a lot of position, a lot of sell orders were there. So it got some selling there for sure, but it's printing a massive candle either way. How did we come to that target? I'll show you how. So when you have for example, an inverse head and shoulder here. You have the left shoulder, right? You have the head, and then you have the right shoulder, and then you have the breakout of the neckline. So that's your neckline, right? From the left shoulder to right shoulder and then breaking out, that's your neckline. So on head and shoulders, the technical target, which is, it doesn't mean it's gonna hit. It's just giving you somewhat of a price target within price discovery. Because when you go into price discovery, it's really hard finding targets. You can look at psychological levels, the 100, the 50, 110, whatever. You can look into psychology. But regarding TA, it's really hard to find a level because you don't have any levels from history to look left, and think people might sell here. So the measured move target for an inverse head and shoulders, you have to do the following. You go into your metric here, and you see what's the distance between the head and the neckline. In this case, it's huge. It's 98%. So you say that the measured move or the technical target for inverse head and shoulders pattern is the size of the head all the way to the neckline. So you go to the breakout and you pull up 98%, which is around here. So that's what we did with Pepe. We measured the bottom of the head all the way to the neckline, so 95%. Then we went from the breakout, 95% here to the target. So that's what we did with this target in Pepe. I'm not taking any profit until we reach that area. We also have this good looking neckline back test here. We talked about this before too, where we had the breakout. I thought maybe, oh wow, like this head and shoulders didn't perform as good as I was expecting, but I remained patient, came back to the neckline, back tested a support, and then we started springing. And luckily today we had that roaring kitty come back and just pushed us way higher. There's some alpha on the Pepe Bitcoin chart too against Bitcoin. We had this bullish pennant that we talked about. We had this deviation here. This failed breakdown of a bullish pennant is usually turbo bullish. When you have a bullish pennant here, for example here, what you want to see, what everyone expects, or what the market participants are usually expecting, is for the pennant to play out perfectly, and break out here. But what happens is they usually come all the way to the first top and then maybe just come back and then retest this line, and do all sorts of shenanigans. Instead, what you want to see on a bullish pennant is you have the setup, perfect, and then you have a breakdown. And when you have the breakdown, you have a failed breakdown, you have a reclaim here, and this one is turbo bullish. This is the best scenario that you could have on a bullish pennant. We've seen some examples on stream. Actually, Sol BTC did this in August 2021 when it was trading around $50. It did a failed bullish pennant against Bitcoin and then just started its run all the way to $200. So we had this good setup here, this failed breakdown on bullish pennant, broke out, back tested a support, and then came all the way to this resistance area that we were talking about. Probably came up here, had some selling, and just today it catch a bit and just currently sitting at price discovery. I don't have the measurement here. It's a funny chart, but we don't have anything to the left here. It's a price discovery for Pepe. So that was the big elephant in the room. Another good performing asset lately has been Render. It's just been killing it, just really recovering pretty well from all the altcoin carnage that we had in April. We still want to see, I think this is an important level, around 12 bucks and 3 cents or so, and 38 cents. We're working on a bullish engulfing candle, the highest candle close on Render since March 27. So that's pretty good. Positive momentum has been declining on MACD, so it's good to have an eye on that. If it keeps coming down here, it's probably going to have a small retracement or find a little bit of resistance here about in the 12 bucks area. Bullish convergence here. We made a higher high on the MACD histogram. We made a higher high on price, so that's good. No hidden bearish divergences. So rendered USDT looking good. It's good on the score against Bitcoin. So yeah, we talk about this. This is expanding broadening wedge, or how you want to call it, megaphone kind of like pattern. This structure resembles an asset that's bullish but has a bearish bias to it. That's what the psychology of this pattern says. Yo, Edward, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So yesterday we had this nasty red candle leading a lot of wicks up here. That's usually a local top when you start seeing this kind of wicks. You know, you actually need more data in order to be calling local tops. You know, being around a significant area. You know, this is probably a strong resistance area around here. So we're building this green candle here, not enough to bullish engulf against BTC. It doesn't mean it's gonna reverse against the USDT pair, but it may be start to cool down against Bitcoin, at least look by the looks of it. It may need to put on a higher low and then keep going up. If we throw some fib at it, we may need to come back to the 0.36 or even 0.5, put on a higher low, and then just keep to the upside. I just hope it keeps going up, but seeing this positive momentum decline around an important area here, I'm guessing we're about to see a small retracement. Yeah, Bitcoin dump would most likely give us lower levels against BTC under 2. But we're leaning to the optimistic side of things for the time being. So Pepe, so what else? WIF. Wow, a lot of selling on WIF today. So you can see. And so at some point, I think WIF was like almost 12% green on the day, and right now it's just 1%, fighting that bullish engulfing candle. Funny looking Darth Maul kind of candle. I'm guessing if we fail to bullish engulf here, if we close below $3 or so, yeah, even we need to close above $3.07 or so in order for WIF to be a bullish engulfing candle. If we fail that, or we close the daily red, then I think we are about to see the bottom of the channel. It's not looking too bright. I like that we pumped, but I don't like the fact that we had such a big drawdown after after all that selling, because you can see Pepe held its price way better. Actually, we're gonna see. We can look at WIF against Pepe. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, WIF against Pepe was basically ranging here for a lot of time, almost a whole month in April, and then just Pepe gave just have had the upper hand. So you can see here having a big red candle to the downside. So I'm guessing Pepe is going to keep outperforming WIF for the time being. What else? ENA. Oof. Minus 7% on the daily, working on its lowest candle close in history. Yeah, because yeah, this candle close for I think TGE when the coin launched, and now we're currently sitting below it, just at the 0.618 fib level, fib retracement level. Yeah, we're gonna look at TIA too. Just wanted to see ENA just losing support, just sitting at the 0.618 level. If we lose this and we start having some price action below it, I think we're gonna visit 7.6 fib retracement level at half a dollar at 0.562 bucks. A sad day for the ENA holders because you've been seeing BTC good price action for the past week or so, but this coin remains to be turbo dumped or shorted. Someone shorting this coin, that's for sure. Bollinger Bands getting tighter and tighter, and we're actually around the bottom side of the Bollinger Band. If we start breaking down and having a Bollinger Band expansion, you know, ENA is gonna have a bad time. So be careful. I actually hold ENA, so that's why I'm looking at it. Let's look at TIA. Minus 2% on the daily, working on a bearish engulfing candle, back testing this critical area of 9.41 cents as resistance, which was support here on January 3rd. Support around this whole past month of price action, and we're confirming it as resistance as we speak. Having it slow, it's about to have its lowest candle close since basically I think April 12th. Sheesh. So not good price action for T as well. Looks like a Disney Castle kind of pattern here. And I don't think I was streaming back then, but I recognized with my Discord this server members this head and shoulders pattern. So let's see if we have some targets there. I'm gonna have to draw this. So it's funny to look at where you think the pattern is. Kind of is. So if you think this is the pattern, you know, this is the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Let's see where the target is. So it's a minus 25% from the neckline. Yeah, we have exceeded the target of the head and shoulders. We actually had the move here, recovered a little bit, and then just been constantly bleeding. We need to see that whole Bitcoin dominance roll over in order for this altcoins that are not memes or AI coins or runes or whatever in order for them to run. I don't. It could take us a while. Craptos. I haven't looked at Aptos in a while. Let's look at it. Add a channel here. Yeah, it's just bad price action. I don't have any supports here, but I'm sure we can find some. Yeah, there's definitely a level here. I would say around here. Yeah. So that's your next level on Aptos, inflection point from history. You know, just it's the same one as the launch, the TEE. You know, lost it here, nuked, retested as support here, pumped, range and confirmed it as resistance, nuked. Tried to break above it a lot of times, finally broke above it, and then just started pumping. And we saw actually a wick to this level on the war news dump that we had, and a lot of buy orders were probably here, and that's why it got its recovery. But I don't see a strong support here until 7.34 bucks, because it's been just being shorted, I'm sure. Pretty similar as with TIA, Bollinger Band compression, and this one's actually worse because it's closing below the lower band. So if we get this daily close and we start, you know, not getting above the Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Bands might start expanding, and we could have that flush all the way to 7.34 bucks, which is currently 10% away. Let's look at Cubic. I don't think I've ever looked at this coin before. Oh, it's a new coin. I don't have any edge on the daily, but we're gonna look at it on the hourly chart. You could be trying to put on a bottom here. That little needs to get respected though, because it looks similar to the 12-hour on BTC, where you have that Adam and Eve, you know, bottoming pattern, possibly something like that, you know. But it's just it's been having a hard time pumping because, you know, all of this selling. But yeah, that's your line in the sand. Point, a lot of O's, and then 5,147 cents. Yeah, no problem, Edward. And Sach, I haven't looked at Sach too. Sach, is it Sach? Is that an S coin, like a microcap? It's not on TradingView, I think. Oh yeah, I got it. Word, it's not a coin. It's a Pepe emoji. Okay, Sui. Damn, it's not catching any bits, and I don't think you'll catch any until we come to that area around. It looks pretty similar to Aptos. I think Aptos is being worse, but yeah, those two projects are actually related. The depths come from Facebook, I think, from Meta. So they kind of tend to move similarly. Okay, 30 minutes to the daily candle close and holding up. Yeah, we saw so. When we finish the stream, you can rewatch it and look at it. I don't think we checked Sol BTC, so we'll look at that now. Yeah, so trying to potentially build this inverse head and shoulders pattern. I didn't like that much how it's drawn, but if we manage to hold this right shoulder, then it's gonna continue to grind upwards. I think we're below a significant level though, by the way, which is here, 23,847 sats. So you need to get back above it, and then we're Gucci. Bullish pin bar working its daily. It's working on the daily, and yeah. That's all BTC below a critical level, but could be building something interesting. If you look at it inverted there, you can see left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So this could continue to uptrend. Okay, I'm gonna look at some more altcoins, some good performers and some wacky performers. Let's see. CHR, 12% on the daily. I don't even know what this coin does. I think it's layer 2. Bullish engulfing. You had this bullish divergence on the MACD. Pretty significant here. And engulfing its previous daily candle close and working on its highest daily candle close since April 29. I see the Bollinger Bands, what they're doing here. Well, that's cool. I have a custom Bollinger Band indicator that I built that it gives me some setups, some longs and shorts. And it's actually printing a buy signal here. So then the first target of the buy signal is the mid range, which has already been hit, and the second one is the upper band. So if we manage to close like this on the green, which is probably what's going to happen within the next 28 minutes, then this coin would have a target of 0.38, 0.3238 bucks. So interesting. STX in the green. I think STX is going to be a good signal for a risk on assets, because STX usually performs like Bitcoin and hasn't been performing like it at all. It's just been bleeding, not catching a bit. So as soon as STX starts catching a bit, I think it might be a signal that some bits are coming to the altcoin market besides BTC. Memes, Grin. Interesting here in Doge, bullish engulfing candle working on its highest daily candle close since May 9, and you have a setup here. Give me 1 second. All right. So we have this inverse head and shoulders, possibly printing the right shoulder here. We're going to see a target, a technical target, 35% above the neckline. So if we break out around here, let's put on 35%, will be almost at all-time high, not all-time high. I mean the highest high of this rally, around 21 cents or so and change, 21, 22 cents. So that's interesting. We're gonna leave it here. Gonna leave a target here. Yep. Okay. So that's your Doge. Yeah, it's not the all-time high. I know. All-time high would be insane. We might be heading there, but we need some more time. I think it's coming though, within the next months. Just need to sit patient on our Doge backs. Shiv, almost the same as Doge. Probably Doge's been outperforming Shiv for the time being. I'm gonna loop at it. Huh, interesting. I'm gonna go on a higher time frame. So this is Doge against Shiv. It's been ranging for like 2 years, but actually Doge was outperforming it, and then in February Shiv got the upper hand. Is that the bull flag are you referring to in Doge, or Doge against Shiv, Edward? Oh, bear flag? Yeah, makes more sense. Would be like a huge bear flag here, but it could be one. Yeah, possibly. I mean, it kind of makes sense since SHIB is a smaller market cap asset. It should pump harder when we have that move. Floki, I don't have that much data in this chart, but it's probably similar to whatever Doge and SHIB is doing. This is Floki on the weekly. I want to look at it daily. It's actually more interesting, I think, because you have higher lows. Could be a 3 rising valleys pattern here. It's not an inverse head and shoulders because the head is not lower than the left shoulder. It could be something like this. Pretty interesting. Let's look at the possible resistance. This could be an order block. It's been a lot of selling here. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yep. Keep pushing higher and this is gonna fly. Looks better than Doge and Shiv. Gonna set on an alert, I think. Let's see where. Okay, you have an alert there. When we break out, it's gonna beep. We'll know Floki's about to fly. What else? NFT metaverse coins just chopping. Lido getting dumped on, -6%. Wow. Probably because of ETH not doing anything. Man, this coin had a great setup, you know. 3 rising valleys here, you know, and just underperformed to the T. Almost all the way back down from the 3rd valley here. My God. Deep value territory, deep retracement, deep retracement level. At this point, it's probably going to come back down all the way down to pre-pump levels of 1.45 bucks. Imagine round tripping this whole move from October. Like if you imagine buying Lido instead of Solana in October, when Sol was around like 11 bucks or so. I'm not even saying Pepe because Pepe is a more exotic, you know, asset. But imagine buying Lido instead of Sol. Let's actually look at it. Sol against Lido. Yep. This is the performance of Solana against Lido. God damn. Just up only. Okay, so we saw memes. Robinhood's pumping today, 4%. It's gotta be something because of the roaring kitty, you know, coming back, you know it. Failed too bullish in gold. Maybe inverted hammer. It's just not where you want to see it. You want to see it on the bottom. Working on its highest daily candle close since May 24th. That's has this Robinhood pump. It's got to be because of the Roaring Kitty return. Just that he used to trade there, I think. New hot shiny stuff. Everything on the red. Not even gonna do TA on this stuff, man. It's just wild. Caspa's been holding a little bit better than the other one. You had some Robinhood. Sold at 12. Well, if you made profit with it, it's cool. You lost? Ah, damn. Well, that's the thing with trading. I would say there could be an inverse head and shoulders here with Caspa, but we have some wicks here that will invalidate the setup. But you can clearly look at the structure. Can give you an idea. Left shoulder, the head, and a possible right shoulder around here. But I'm not sure about it because this wicks totally, yeah, with crazy volume. Setup's not there. Just not gonna be trying to find setups where they're not. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Been going live for around, I don't know, an hour and 20 minutes. So Unless you want to look at something else, Edward, we can check it out. Otherwise, I'm gonna log off, go get some dinner, and get ready for looking at some S coins tonight. I'm preparing tomorrow's stream. I like the Friendtech coin, Friend, but it's been relentlessly coming down. UHM, okay. Let's see UHM and then I'm out. Ah, UHM now, Mina Arsa. Okay, let's look at Mina. Yeah, I know, I got you, don't worry. It's funny that you mentioned Mina and Say together because they look similar to Say. I really wish we were above here. Yeah. I say you need to reclaim 81 cents in order for it to get excited. You know, it's just been support and resistance way too many times. As you can see here, support, lost it, nuked. Deviation above it, resistance, broke above it, flip it, run, broke down, nuked. Then tried to held here, deviation above it, nuked, you know, just resistance, then pump. And now trying to chop solidate about around it, the 0.81 level. So I wish you were above it in order for it to run. Otherwise, you could have significant price action to the downside. Like thinking about it like pretty simply. And if we look at some FIP levels, it's not. Sorry about that. This is a mnemonic. Okay, here we go. You're around the golden zone. You're in deep retracement areas. So you just need to start building some bullish divergences around this area, reclaim this significant level, and it will be a perfect area for a long. But until then, it just can continue to keep bleeding until the next support, which would be around 0.764 bucks. So yeah, just this is your level, in my opinion. I'm gonna leave it here, just so you know, and say. Yeah, Bitcoin would need to hold in order for it to come back above the 0.81 level. When you rewatch the beginning of the stream, you'll see what we've been talking about a lot. My thesis of Bitcoin holding the orange EMA for a P-cycle top indicator, just like the 2016 and 2017 cycle. If Bitcoin manages to hold, then we're gonna see some reaccumulation on alts. It's gonna take a while. You'll see Bitcoin probably moon and or altcoins basically just go sideways until we see significant froth and we see Bitcoin around 90 to 100K, and altcoins might start to move when people choose to go further down the risk curve into altcoins, and retail would come back and pump our backs basically. So the same here would say, you know, I would like us to be above the 60 bucks level, being confirmed as resistance. It could continue bleeding eternally. if you look at Fibonacci, you are at the 0.618 level, just starting to lose it and going into deep retracement areas. And your next support will be at 0.32 bucks. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Okay, guys, that's it for me today. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Just make sure you like the stream. Come back every day around 6 p.m. EST for another crypto streaming video, a live stream. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.